In this lecture, we are going to talk about problem-solving process. Let us start with the definition of management science. Typically, management science is considered as a field of study combining computer science, mathematics, and statistics to solve the problems in the business. Actually, there are other names for management science, for example, operations management and decision sciences. In operation management, they are going to emphasize more about mathematics and algorithms. And decision sciences right now, they focus a lot on the decision-making process. In a typical problem-solving process, we are going to encounter different types of problems. And in the first steps, right after we have the problem, typically we are not rushing into the solution immediately. Instead, we should try to identify what is the problems. And when I'm talking about what is the real problem right here is a little bit different from the phenomenon we encounter in the business world. So after we realize that what is the real problem behind the phenomenon, and we are going to formulate a model. In this type of the models, we are not specify that to be a mathematical model. Actually, that can be a psychological models. That could be any kind of model in your mind. And in these so-called models in your mind, you are going to try to understand the problem we are talking about. And after that, we are going to analyze the model and try to come out with the solution we want. But typically, in the first time, we might not get the optimal solution we want. So before you implement the solution, you analyze from the problem, from the model, you typically need to test the outcome at first. For example, you can run your solution through a small group of customers to see how were they satisfied with the product. If they are not satisfied, you need to go back to formulate the model and then reanalyze the model and test the outcome again. Until at the point you are satisfied with the outcome, and then you can implement into the consumers, into your market base. For example, in iPhone design, Apple can have different type of the iPhone in place, but they might not have the best idea about which type of the iPhone is best for the consumer to catch the biggest market and to make the money. So they might want to test the iPhone going through some small group of customers at first, and until they get all the feedback they want and they apply into the consumer base and they feel that's a good model, and then we start to implement into the market. After you implement the solutions into the market, and ideally you want to make a lot of money out of the model. Actually, decision making has been applied in all different types of industries. Basically, you cannot name any industry that does not need decision making. For example, investment banks, transportation, operations, telecommunications, manufacturing, they all need decision makings. When we make a good decision, it does not necessarily mean we are going to have a good outcome all the time. Typically, if you have a good decision, you might have a good outcome and bad outcomes. And in the problem-solving process, we hope a structured modeling approach can help us make a better decision and lead into a better outcome. If we have a good decision and we have a good outcome, we call it a deserved success. But if we have a good decision with a bad outcome, we call it bad luck. If we have bad decision and very luckily we have a good outcome, we call it a dumb luck. If we have bad decision and we have a bad outcome, we call it poetic justice.